Hey, good morning. Thank you all so much for coming. You can see we have an excellent turnout and support from our police department, so no one try and leave early. So I've made my life here in Woodburn and have a deep love of our community. I grew up in Woodburn. My wife and I raised our son here in Woodburn, and I ran a business here in Woodburn. One reason I ran for mayor was to ensure that Woodburn remains a place where everyone is welcome and wanted, and people can be successful, where we can raise our families, get a quality education, be happy, and be safe. Providing a safe community in Woodburn is the primary objective of our city council, where your leadership is responsive and guides our democratic processes by example. I can report that the state of Woodburn is strong and that Woodburn's future is bright as unprecedented investment in housing, infrastructure, and job creations continues to build a stronger foundation for current and future generations. The city's decade-long focus and vision on building a future for our community has been producing tangible results. Central to these efforts is our city's focus on creating an equitable and inclusive environment that fosters relationships built upon a foundation of integrity and high ethical standards. Along these lines, Woodburn has continued to provide local and regional leadership through innovative partnerships such as the establishment of the Youth Outreach and Coordinator Program in cooperation with the Woodburn School District, to the North Marion Tourism Collaborative and the ongoing Industrial Business Roundtable Program. Since 2010, Woodburn-based employment has grown by 28%. There's currently some 12,000 local jobs, a number which is expected to grow to approximately 18,600 jobs over the next 20 years. Last year, about 9% of all growth occurred here in Woodburn. 9% of all growth in Oregon occurred here in Woodburn. That's something to be proud of. A consulting firm, Johnson Economics, recently presented the City Council with an analysis that shows Woodburn has enjoyed a sustainable economic annual growth rate of 2.3% over the last 10 years, which is forecasted to continue into the foreseeable future. A lot of businesses would love to have that figure. The city is financially stable and positioned well for the future, a rare and enviable position for any city in the Valley or elsewhere in Oregon. And year after year, Woodburn's accounting records and annual budget continue to win awards from the Oregon Government Finance Officers Association. The leadership of the City Council is also strong, with a recent addition of City Councilor Jen Cantu, who brings solid business experience and chamber leadership to the City Council, as well as the prior addition of Councilor Mark Wilk. Mark is a retired immigration attorney who served our community's unique needs for years. These new perspectives are already helping focus and refine our work in our community. Your City Council represents decades of community service here in Woodburn. Put all of our council together, and myself, we have well over 200 years of life experience here in Woodburn. So a lot of that is showing in the work that we're able to do and the experience of what we have. As a team, we're focused on building a more economically sustainable community, preserving our quality of life, increasing access to services, building community, and providing housing, and honoring the unique cultural assets that make Woodburn one of a kind. In fact, volunteerism is what really makes Woodburn work, including those who have served on the Planning Commission, with Lisa Ellsworth as chair, with our Recreation and Park Board, where David Piper is chair, our Arts and Mural Committee, where Council President Sharon Schaub is chair, our Budget Committee, where Jane Reinhardt is chair, our Library Board, where Bethany Weathersby is chair, and so many other groups such as Love Inc., our Tourism and Economic Development Programs, the Police Chiefs Advisory Board, Love Santa, Woodburn Proud, the Rotary, 2 different Kiwanis groups, and the Chamber, and a lot of other groups and committees that contribute to our community. So hey, if you volunteer in Woodburn right now, raise your hand. Thank you. This is what makes Woodburn the city of unity. So thank you all for your service. Access to quality, affordable housing continues to be a pressing and difficult issue, not only for Woodburn, but also for the entire state of Oregon. Here again, Woodburn continues to be a leader. Building permits for 460 dwelling units, which included 380 multifamily units, were issued this past year, pacing Woodburn's housing market to an impressive 6.5% growth rate. According to the Portland State University Population Research Center, among cities with populations over 10,000, Woodburn was the fastest growing city in Oregon last year. Woodburn's population now, they list, is 28,485, which is greater than Wilsonville, Tualatin, Westland, Happy Valley. In reality, I think we're probably closer to 35,000 though. Everyone acknowledges that more affordable housing options are needed. Woodburn currently has 387 units of subsidized housing, making Woodburn a center right now for affordable housing in North Marion County. To better meet the needs of individuals and families in crisis, the city has recently entered into an agreement with the Mid-Willamette Valley Community Action Agency to remodel and operate the shelter for those experiencing houselessness. This is over on Hardcastle Street. They will be able to provide overnight shelter for over 40 people, providing meals, showers, laundry, and other services. I want to thank Jimmy Jones, the executive director, and Ashley Hamilton, the chief program officer, for their work. And I feel this is just the beginning of a long relationship with community action to address our houselessness needs. We have numerous non-residential developments underway as well, including retail, medical, industrial, and downtown area projects. Some of the projects we're excited to share here now include the 167,000 square foot Do It Best expansion, which will add in something like 30 new jobs. The redevelopment of the downtown historic City Hall building, which is they're turning into a residential care facility. Out along Parr Road and Evergreen, Spec Development is building a 500,000 square foot industrial building. On the east side of North Front Street, we have another large industrial building going in across from the high school. We have improvements to Salud Medical Center, a remodel of La Quinta Inn into a Holiday Inn Express, and Tripola's restaurant expansion downtown. As well, and we've been talking about this for a long time, as a new Chick-fil-A that should be breaking ground pretty soon. And I'm especially proud of the significant expansion that longtime Woodburn business, La Morenita, is undertaking with their impressive new facility out on Highway 99. They're moving from downtown on 2nd Street, all of their production out to the highway. They'll still be selling downtown, but move most of their business, and it's a huge building. We're looking forward to going through that, and they're going to open that up pretty soon. In upcoming months, the city will see several economic development projects that are going to come to fruition, including the ribbon cutting of new businesses, and especially Amazon building as they prepare to begin operations. I want to thank Ellie Booth and her team for bringing Amazon to Woodburn and being such a good partner. Ellie is here today, and I want to say Amazon has been a terrific partner during their long construction phase. We look forward to increasing our positive relationship in the future as they become a largest employer and provide a strong economic entity. Critical updates to the city's comprehensive plan and long-range master plans have been updated as well. In December, the city adopted a new economic opportunities analysis and buildable lands inventory. These consultant-led studies involved input from technical advisory committees and state agency representatives. This work concluded that the city has a shortage of employment lands and recommend an urban growth boundary adjustments to bring in the urban reserve area into the southwest area of town to address this shortage. So what I just said is 8 years ago, the city of Woodburn, we worked on a 25-year future plan for what we needed for buildable land. Went to the state, we got approved for land. In 8 years, that has been used up. So we're looking again now to go back and looking at a couple of 200 to 300 more acres of land needed to continue to grow like we want to grow. Primarily commercial, this I'm talking about strictly commercial and industrial land here. In January, so the city council now is currently undertaking this and is going to continue to work on this huge project. In January, the city adopted a new Parks and Recreation Master Plan, which identifies parks, open space, and recreational opportunities for this community. It includes recommendations of future investments for Woodburn's parks and recreation system. It's going to be a lot of trails that are going to be put together that's going to connect and guide us through Woodburn. It's going to be a lot of fun. In February, after holding 7 workshops and public hearings, the council adopted a new tree preservation requirements in the city. These new provisions balance the community's desire to protect significant trees from unnecessary removal with a need to also preserve private property rights. So you knew I was going to talk about the community center coming up. So our community center project and the excellent work of our community center advisory committee, which former Mayor Kathy Figley has been the chair. This project will be one of the most significant community projects ever undertaken by the city. And it's going to require everyone's help to get it over the finish line. This new facility would support expanded access to recreation, health, and wellness programming for all ages and abilities, kids, families, adults, and seniors, while filling a clear need by providing an affordable space for meetings and large community events. The financing of this project will require the passage of general obligation bond measure, along with additional grants and donations, and will truly require the work and support of this entire community. The City Council plans to refer general obligation bond measure on this November's ballot. We are partnering with Woodburn Proud to handle the financing. So thank you, Woodburn Proud, for your assistance. The cost of this large undertaking is $60 million. Impressively, $20 million of this funding has already been secured through state grants and city dollars, bringing the cost of this 20-year bond measure down to $40 million, which equates approximately to $1 per thousand of assessed property value, or $15 per month on the average homeowner. In support of this effort, I was honored to lead a trip to Washington, D.C. with Council President Schaub and some staff to lobby for federal funding in support of the city's community center project and Woodburn generally. During our visit, we successfully discussed the project and the need for federal funding with Oregon's legislative delegation, which will lead to the recent submission of material needed for a 2025 allocation. Despite the trip being somewhat of a whirlwind, I feel that substantial progress was made, and I hope to have more news on this front next year. So we now have support from the state of Oregon. We're going to get support from Marion County, and I know we will get support from the federal government for this project. In short, the city of Woodburn is proposing to place a bond measure on this November's ballot that would secure the funds required to support the expansion and improvements of Woodburn's Aquatic Center into a full-service community center. I encourage everyone to get involved in every possible way to support this extremely important project. If we don't utilize the $15 million by the state of Oregon by July of 2025, we will lose it. This is for the future of our children. So we have a good partnership with the Chamber, and I'm very pleased to report that due to the quality and effectiveness of our partnership, the City Council has approved a new 5-year agreement that will provide the Chamber of Commerce with an annual allocation of $100,000 from the city's hotel motel tax revenues. It is the city's hope that this funding will enable the Chamber to continue to be an effective partner in improving and promoting Woodburn's tourism assets. And of course, none of this would be possible without the excellent leadership of John Zarbrist and the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. So thank you all for your leadership in our business community. Woodburn continues to be a leader in economic development and regional small business developments by collaborating with our regional partners, communities of Donald, St. Paul, Aurora, Hubbard, Jervis, Mount Angel, Silverton, Scotts Mills, and Brooks. Woodburn's goal is to provide as many employment opportunities to our community as possible. And speaking of tourism, prior to COVID, representatives of North Marion counties, these North Marion counties I just talked about, their chambers and destinations, different destinations, began meeting to discuss collaborative marketing opportunities. During COVID, the group continued meeting in order to share best practices and resources and to ensure our destinations and attractions were surviving. When COVID restrictions were lifted, this group continued to meet and formally established the North Marion Tourism Collaborative. This North Marion Tourism Collaborative is now a destination management organization called the DMO, and it serves the North Marion County region on the promotion, marketing, and development of tourism opportunities, their activities and events, highlighting events such as the St. Paul Rodeo, Davenport Days in Silverton, the Oktoberfest, Hubbard Hop Festival, Aurora Colony Days, and destinations such as Bauman Farms and Iverson's Tulip Festival, and of course, our Fiesta Mexicana. The North Marion Tourism Collaborative has a vision of growing visitation through North Marion County while maintaining both a unique visitor experience and a sense of place for locals. So using the model that I just described through tourism, the North Marion Business Service Alliance was established. The alliance focuses on reducing barriers for businesses to access resources, engage with service providers, and build a supportive entrepreneurial network. So this is the North Marion Business Alliance, which has developed a one-stop resource website called North Marion Works. It hosts business resource fairs and quarterly business breakout sessions. Resource providers meet monthly in order to provide updates on programs and to learn from other providers what services are available to businesses. And I'm pleased to report that the city just received a Rural Opportunities Initiative grant of $80,000 to help fund this effort. Regarding our community services, perhaps our most successful efforts have been the city's collaborations with the various nonprofit service organizations. As our community began to grow, the city anticipated the need to bring more community and social services to better serve Woodburn and North Marion County. It is clear that Woodburn has been underserved for far too many years. The Woodburn Family Resource Center is a unified one-stop resources hub where individuals and families can access services. And I can report today that the Family Resource Center is being fully utilized. Services include support for the child advocacy and abuse prevention, domestic violence, counseling, houselessness, senior and migrant worker help, and mental health crisis. And there's other resources and referrals that are a part of this. Another notable success has been the emerging presence of the Liberty House here in Woodburn, which is a children's advocacy center serving Marion and Polk counties who provide resources for assessment, healing, and prevention of child abuse. Through city efforts and the amazing leadership of Director Allison Kelly, Liberty House came to the Family Resource Center, establishing their education and outreach programs and services that are further in Woodburn and North Marion County. With the help of city funding, Liberty House recently opened its clinical service facility in Woodburn, leasing 9,000 square feet of space located over on Glad Circle to provide clinical services to youth and families. I know many of you were at that ribbon cutting a few weeks ago, so thank you all for your support of the Liberty House. We were all devastated by the fire at the Aware Food Bank in 2021. However, we're really heartened by the community's outpouring of support that followed. It's amazing to think that we've gone from devastation of the fire to the opening of their beautiful, brand new purpose-built facility in just a little more than 2 years, just a block away from downtown. And I'm very proud of the fact that the city contributed nearly $1.3 million toward this project, coming from Community Development Block Grant and ARPA funds. We also support the Woodburn Community Meal Program, which is hosted by Emmanuel Lutheran Church. It is now serving an average of 800 people a week on Wednesday nights. The city having allocated an estimated $125,000 for this program. We also have a Community Connection Day with the support of remarkable community partners and the leadership of Community Connection Day, which is on the first Saturday of August. A local effort championed by Ewart Brown has expanded into an amazing community information fair, in which over 1,500 backpacks and school supplies have been distributed annually. We have a rental and utility assistance program, which started in March of 2023. The city launched a partnership with Dev Northwest to support Woodburn residents with rental and mortgage assistance, as well as utility assistance. Thus far, $374,000 in funds have been distributed, serving a total of over 90 households within the community. And we have a great library. The Woodburn Library isn't just a spot to check out books, but also provides programs for community members of all ages. In 2023, the library nearly doubled the programs it offered to a total of 269 different programs. So have you seen the new bookmobile going around town? It actually is pretty cool, going around to different large apartment complexes, bringing kids out, getting them excited about the books, showing them getting them interested in reading. Great program. They offer after-school adventures and Saturday crafts, brought opportunities for youth to get creative. Manga Mondays saw popularity among teens interested in manga and anime. And they offer free English as second language classes, provide the community with opportunities to work on their English language skills. Attendance is up in all areas, from circulation to programs. And we have a fiesta. In 2023, with the return of the soccer tournament and additional event activities, the Woodburn Fiesta Mexicana saw record numbers with attendance of 27,000 people over the course of a 3-day event. And we hope to see yet another record year in 2024 as we celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Fiesta at Legion Park. So it is my job and honor to pick the Fiesta Parade Grand Marshal. And so this year, I came up with 2 different people that I was thinking would be good possibilities. I had priority 1 and priority 2. A lot of people came to me and they didn't think priority 1 had enough time to be able to make it, so I should go to my number 2. So I said, okay, I did. So I called up this person. You guys have heard of Taylor Swift? Okay, contacted Taylor, and she was interested. She really thought, hadn't been to Woodburn, but we'd give her a stage, and she was excited and said, she thought she could make it and come to Woodburn, and she'd talk to her people and get back to me. Well, then apparently she's got a boyfriend that is somewhat involved in football, and she talked to him, and he came up and he knew that the University of Oregon is one of our main sponsors, and they have a duck in the football team, and he just really didn't want that duck associated with his girlfriend. And so she denied, she decided she shouldn't come up, which that was okay. So I went to my number 1 priority, which was great. So we have Representative Andrea Salinas will be our Fiesta Parade Grand Marshal this year, and I'm really excited about that. And the University of Oregon is a very good sponsor, along with Mayor Foods, and their duck will be out running around and sticking its beak in places it doesn't belong, but we're glad to have them. And so this is going to be held, obviously, at Legion Park. Legion Park, the completion of Legion Park, it's a fantastic park. Legion Park project brought a much-needed improvement to the Woodburn community, breaking ground in 2022. Legion Park has received a top-notch artificial turf facility, thanks a lot to the help of Amazon, a new covered stadium that has an 800-seat grandstand, LED field lighting, and it's already hosted some very successful soccer tournaments. Again, I thank John Zobrist for his work with Bree Spencer, Meyer Vasquez, who have done an amazing job keeping the Woodburn soccer programs in the forefront. In addition to these upgrades at Legion, the project included 4 pickleball courts, 1 basketball court, a futsal court, a state-of-the-art interactive play, and improvements to concession stand and repaving of the parking lot. Very proud of Legion Park. And I'm hoping in a few years, you'll see Settlemyre is going to become similar after we pass our bond. So we also have a museum downtown. Building off the amazing work and dedication of the Woodburn Bear Museum founders of 1986, and followed by the Friends of the Bungalow Theater, the city completed a multi-year improvement project. This all culminated in January of 2023 with the award-winning grand reopening of the Woodburn Museum and Bungalow Theater. If you ever have an opportunity to get in to see a movie, a play, the stage there, it's a fun evening. The museum is open 3 afternoons a week. Go through that, and that is going to continue to grow and have a lot of assets that Woodburn has from their history. So we have an awesome police department. As you can see them here, very well represented. The police department's leadership and community policing programs remain strong as well, leading with a clear vision, integrity, transparency, and a focus on meeting our community expectations. Last year, our police department responded to 13,816 calls and made 836 arrests. We also are Woodburn proud of our police and first responders, with special gratitude to Pastor Luis Molina for his police fire chaplaincy. In addition, the city has been adding new police officer positions as the community grows, including a proposed 3rd school resource officer in next year's budget. We have a great relationship and support the heroic works of the Woodburn Fire District and Woodburn Ambulance Service. So I thank Fire Chief Joe Budge and Tony Grime from Woodburn Ambulance. I firmly believe that with the highly trained and professional first responders that we have here in Woodburn, we're living in a very safe community. Of course, none of this happens by the direction of just one person. It takes a team of dedicated professionals to move our community forward. As mayor, I can't say enough about our volunteer city councilors. Council President Sharon Schaub, who's here, Councilors Cornwell, Cabrales, Cantu, Morris, and Wilk, who freely give of their time. And they also serve on various other nonprofit and government boards, and but they make the policy decisions that move Woodburn forward into the future. Having previously been on the city council for over a decade, I know the commitment given, and I want to thank my colleagues for a job well done. Nor do I recall any time in the past when Woodburn's staff was as excellent as it is now. It is really the envy of communities from around the state. I think we all know just how good our executive team is. Our long-term city administrator, Scott Derrickson, was recognized by the League of Oregon Cities last year with Oregon's highest professional honor, the Herman Curley Award, was followed by the Chamber of Commerce's First Citizen Distinguished Service Award, which was honored just several weeks ago. Also last year, Bob Shields retired after serving Woodburn for over 40 years as our city attorney. We now have a newly appointed city attorney, Mackenzie Granum. As assistant city attorney, Mackenzie skillfully assisted the Planning Commission in navigating Woodburn's growth in a manner we can all be proud of. And of course, nothing would work here in the city without Brenda Bravo. Brenda is our executive and legal assistant who's about to complete her paralegal degree. Good luck with that, Brenda. I know you're very close. We also have our new assistant city attorney, Chris Kilmer. Our assistant city administrator is Jim Rao. Our community services director is Jesse Cuomo. Community development director, Chris Kerr. Our economic development director, Jamie Jonk, and her team, Marcela Guerrero, Kayla Maxwell, and Benny Bentoncourt. We also have Woodburn's building official, Melissa Gitt. We have special projects director, Renata Wakely. City recorder is Heather Pearson. Public Works director, Curtis Stoltz. HR Director Mel Gregg, Finance Director Tony Turley, and our Police Chief, Martin Pilcher. And the entire command staff, that a lot of them are here, just lost my place, sorry, of the Woodburn Police Department have routinely exhibited excellent professionalism that have made Woodburn the thriving and vibrant community that we are experiencing today. I can't say enough to you, but I thank you all for your service. Thank you. I also want to call out and recognize Raya Utter, Woodburn's Community's Youth Outreach Coordinator, a new position created last year. Working with Superintendent Juan Laros and Casey Woolley and the Woodburn School District Board of Directors, I want to thank them for their efforts to work together for the benefit of our kids. We do have some challenges going forward. As much as everything has been good and going to continue to be good in Woodburn, we do have some challenges. One is our social services. You know, I am really sorry that we have a problem with houselessness. I'm really sorry that we worry about feeding people here. I'm really sorry that we have a mental health crisis. I'm really sorry we have to provide help for domestic and child abuse. But it's a way of what's going on now. It's not just Woodburn. This is part of Oregon. It is part of the country. We'll continue to do what we can, but I see this as an ongoing future challenge for us to meet the expectations that we've done in the past. But I can promise you that we will do the best we can going forward. Another challenge Woodburn has in upcoming months and years will be growing services, including the incorporation of the new community center, which commiserates with community expectations in a financially sustainable way. We're lucky to have a top-notch team planning for this work. As in prior years, the biggest economic threat to our community is the pending EPA mandate for environmental improvements or cooling the effluent discharged in the Pudding River. These requirements could easily cost Woodburn residences in excess of $300 million, making it economically unviable for our community. During our trip to Washington, D.C., this topic was front and center. We'll continue to lobby for state and federal assistance to ensure that Woodburn residents don't bear the brunt of this unfounded mandate. The city needs to continue our efforts to bring ODOT improvements to both the highway system and rights of way that directly impact our community. One of the biggest concerns we get is can we do about the potholes and 99, 214. We're working on that. It's estimated, though, that up to 70% of the traffic in Woodburn originates outside of our community. So it's just not Woodburn people that are making these potholes. We still need to see good economic growth with good jobs to keep our workforce in Woodburn. We need a hospital, and we're talking about that. I'd like to see a brewery somewhere in town. More options for restaurants. So in conclusion, Woodburn is a place where people work together, embracing our differences. We're a community that loves. I want you to know that I advance our community's interests and values everywhere I go, including my work on the Marion County Public Safety Coordinating Council. I'm also on the Mid-Willamette Community Action Board of Directors and the Mid-Willamette Valley Council of Governments. A lot of big words. But they do a lot of work, a lot of good work for Marion County. Woodburn is proud. Although I do not see myself as a politician, I am honored and humbled to be serving and representing Woodburn as mayor.